Hey everyone, welcome back to the IHC Craft Room. We're continuing the spooky season live series tonight with another fun dot along. I'll be turning this wooden jack-o'-lantern from the Dollar Tree into a dotted Halloween decor piece that's perfect for beginners. It's super simple, it's super fun, and it's gonna be super zen because I'm gonna take it easy, okay? So if you've got your paints and tools ready, then grab them and we can craft along together, or just sit back and relax and enjoy the process. Don't forget you can comment in the chat and I'll be happy to chat with you. I'll be looking up from time to time. So I'm going to start with a base coat on this guy right now using some black chalk paint. I think I got this at Walmart like a really, really long time ago. First, I'm going to cut this jute cord off. Normally I would save it, but I don't have the patience to deal with the knot, and I have plenty of jute cord to hang this guy with after, so no big dealio. Okay, anytime I paint something like this, I try to start with like the edge of the side and then the edges of the inside of the eye. So I'm going to do that real quick. I shouldn't use the paint from the lid. It's a little crusty. Live and learn. Very good. Okay. I don't personally care how the back looks, as you can see. But you could always paint the back anyway if it bugs you. But I don't particularly care how it looks, so I'm not going to bother with it. So I'm going to paint this with you as a base coat. We'll do a quick coat. But I do have one ready, so I can dot paint on it right away. I would always recommend, if you're going to be dot painting on something, to seal it with a varnish before you start. Like do your base coat, let it dry really well, and then give it a coat of varnish. I normally do 2 thin coats of paint. However, chalk paint, not necessary. 1 coat is more than sufficient. And but 2 thin coats of varnish. Having said that, I really suck at applying varnish. And when you see my like painted base, the one I'm going to use after I'm done painting this one, you're going to see what I mean by I'm not great at painting it. Because varnish tends to like dry real fast, and I'm not as fast as you'd think. I'm a little on the slow side over here. I like to take it easy. At least when I'm crafting, I do. Like, come on. Are we not doing this to have a good time? So, like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take it easy. Of course, you don't need to do this part. You don't have to go onto, like, the edges to get them to be black as well. This is kind of like a dovetailing ribbon, I guess. It's a personal preference thing. Do it if you want to. Don't do it if you don't want to. C'est la vie. All right. Beauty. So since now I got to do around the edges, I'm going to for sure get my hand dirty, and I don't have the patience for that. So I have myself a glove. Because this princess doesn't feel like wiping her hands later. Okay. Let's hope I can keep this hand from getting dirty, but knowing me, I should just put on a glove now. Yeah, you know what? I do need a glove. Like, let's be real. This is not going to end well if I don't put on another glove. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get myself dirty, but at least, you know, make an effort. I am low on black chalk paint. Oh boy. I took quite a dip. I really should have wiped that off. Now I'm going to suffer. Now I shall suffer. Okay. Bueno, mi piace. Okay. See, I made a mess. I made a mess. Quelle surprise. It's okay. Everything's fine. Everybody calm down. Everything's okay. All right. This part's going to be fun. I enjoy this. I always enjoy painting a base coat. It's very satisfying. I'm gonna, yeah. This is why I really enjoy chalk paint, because it really has so much thick coverage that you just don't need to do more than one coat. But you could. There was a time when I would. Who knows? They might come back again. Try to smooth out my brush strokes a bit. Okay. I think I'm going to keep, ooh. I'm going to keep my hand on this side. You always have to decide where your last spot is, especially when you're holding it like I am. All right. Got ourselves a nice coat of black chalk paint. At this point, I would leave it to dry for, I mean, really, you should leave it to dry for a few hours at minimum. But it'll be like top dry at least within 20 minutes, half an hour or so. But lucky for moi, I already painted one of these. If I could put this lid on, I'd be thrilled. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to move this out of here. See you later, wet lantern. Okay. Let me get rid of these. And we are going to work on our friend Jack. Now, I sealed this with two thin coats of Liquitex Matte Varnish, which is my usual go-to varnish. And I mentioned earlier that I don't normally do a very good job. You can see a lot of brush strokes from me. I mean, I try, but whatever, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, so today I'm going to be making this a really easy zen, craft your calm kind of project. So I'm going to use some bigger tools, and I'm going to use the color Bright Orange from Americana Deco Art. This one I actually picked up from Michael's, but you can get it at Dollarama. I'm not sure why I got it at Michael's. Who knows? Okay, so if you are not using dotting tools like I am today, then I would start with the back of a number 2 pencil for the larger dots, which is where we're going to eventually go. I'm thinking while I'm looking at this that I'd like to use some like larger dots through the jaw, like the smiling line there. And then maybe like a smaller line in between. And then like, I'm going to like vary the size of dots, but I'm not intending to do that explosion of dots technique. I want to do it more like, I don't know. It's not a mandala, but a repetitive pattern, I guess, if nothing else. So anyways, if I were you, I would use this if this was going to be for my largest. And then probably the back of some paintbrushes to get into those smaller sizes. Like this yellow one is one of my faves, and this green one is also a fave of mine because they really do give you a few millimeters in difference. So I'm going to start with going around the eyes first and then the nose. And for that, we're going to start with number 3, the biggest of the styluses, styli. I don't know. How do you say plural of stylus? The biggest of those, I'm going to start with just to trim out the eyes and the nose. And then we'll move up to like a bigger, I want to definitely go bigger in a lot of places. I want to cover a lot of real estate. You know what I mean? All right. So let's get started. Okay. So for dot painting, you don't generally need a lot of paint. However, if you're going to be making really big dots, then you'll need more paint. If you're making little dots, clearly not as much needed. So let's get started. I'm really looking forward to like the pop of color that this is going to make. Oh yeah, that contrast is something. So for these, I want them to be the same size, which means I'm going to be dipping my dotting tool between each dot. Versus, you know, getting some paint on my tool and then dotting 2 or 3 times in a row so that it tapers out, which is called walking the dots and is a technique I use very often because I really do love the way that looks. But for this, I feel like that's not something I want for this project. I'm looking for very even, consistent, and it's not unusual for me to start with a bit of a smaller dot and see it progress until it reaches the size I want. Like ultimately I end up with a bigger size because that's where I wanted it to be, I guess, or I would have stayed on the smaller side, and it doesn't bother me because who cares? So this is a fun project in general. I find it really like relaxing and chill. I'm gonna pop a bubble here. I talk about this every time I see a bubble, and I will always talk about it. Always pop your bubbles. Don't pop your zits, but pop your bubbles. I mean, pop your zits. Do what you want, bro. It's your life. It's your body. I can't pop my zits. I'll scar. In case anybody was wondering, like a little peach over here. But definitely pop your bubbles when you're dot painting, because as Mary from the past has often said, if you don't pop your bubbles, time will do it for you. And it'll get stuck in your final product, which is cool. I mean, if you like a bubble, do you. But I'm not a fan. So in general, I would say this is probably going to be the smallest dot I'm going to be doing in this project. I'll probably move up quite a lot in size and get away from my stylus and do some really big dots. So this would be a lot of fun with, okay, first of all, children would have so much fun with a big pumpkin like this to just, oh my God, there's so many things they could do. If dot painting's too boring or it's too focused for them, like, oh my God, I would have so much fun, like splattering this with paint or trying to learn how to blend paint well is always is always a good plan. Investing the time on that. I'm not very good at blending paint. So it would do me well to do some projects that would require blended paint. I just love how the contrast, it's so vibrant. I'm getting to a little bit of a chunky part of this paint. I don't know what's up with you. What's wrong with you, paint? Oh yeah, there's like a dry piece in there. I hate when that happens. I don't even know what that's called. You get like that chunky piece inside and then you got to pull it. It's really quite gross. And yet oddly satisfying. So as a general rule, when I am completing a circle or shape or something in this manner, I try to always move that closure point off of a very obvious point. So you would assume a corner people will notice in this kind of a shape. So somewhere in the middle of that side is a great place, because if I space this badly, oh well, it hopefully won't draw your attention too much. So right now I say I space this fairly well. I'm going to have to be a little conservative with that dot, and this is probably what I'm going to do instead, is I'm going to leave that and I'm going to come back to it later when these dots have dried so that I don't run the risk of creating a blob, because it would make him look like you have a crusty eye. Nobody likes a crusty eye. So I won't do that. But I'm going to come back to you later, bro. So you take it easy and let's move on to this side. So yeah, if you don't have any dotting tools, have a look in your junk drawer for like literally anything. Like mostly writing utensils are super useful, like a pen cap or, you know, the back of a pencil. I've said that so many times because that one's so good. Like a number 2 eraser. It gives a pretty sweet dot. But I think my go-tos are always going to be paintbrushes. But I will say something else that is a super easy way to, like, with $5, you'll have a number of different size dotting tools. And I hope I still have it handy. Hold on. I do. Yay. Is yarn, like knitting needles. I got this at Dollarama a while ago. It was only $2.50. By now, this is $5 for sure. But these are so different in sizes. They do really, really well as dotting tools. So that's an easy way to get like a whole bunch in one shot that are gradual in size as well. So, you know, hot tip. You think I owned a Dollarama or a Dollar Tree for how much I talk about their stuff. Visit your local dollar store. I like to make things. I like to chill, listen to a podcast, maybe some tunes, make something pretty, take it easy. And maybe learn something. But otherwise, it's nice. Dotting in particular, of all the things that I do on this channel, is the most zen of the zen, but I do enjoy all of it. Like, it really doesn't. Because why not? I just try to be very aware of how much money I'm spending making these things and doing these things, because I don't know if anybody noticed how expensive life has been. If you hadn't noticed, take a gander. So the dollar store is still a really, really great place to find some quality craft stuff. And their game, man, they have stepped up their game a ton in the last 2 years. So I guess I am going to keep promoting them, even though I don't get anything out of it other than pleasure. So I'm probably going to be dotting for a couple of hours tonight. We're about a half an hour in right now. I really have no idea how long it takes me to do anything dotting related, but literally any craft. Because I normally have like a personal window of like an hour and a half to 2 hours of like focus time before my brain's like, hey, why don't we maybe not do this anymore for a while? Let's like have a little break, shall we? So usually I try to target 2 hours for lives, because that's all the patience that little Miss Mary has. See, at this point, the eye that I dotted before is dry enough that if I wanted to put that dot in now, it would be absolutely fine, because I highly doubt it would be wet enough to create a paint blob, which is what we're trying to avoid with that. Okay, this one, I think I spaced badly. So I'm gonna struggle here. I'm either gonna need to put 2 smaller dots or one in the middle. And I can't do the one in the middle because that'll just look like, you know. So I'm gonna go there and then leave that. And I'm gonna come back and fill that in later for sure when it's dry. Okay, so let's do El Naso. Oh my God, I gotta be careful. Sometimes I lose track of what I dotted and what's wet and what's not, and that would be really bad. So the nose, I find, is like almost a completely sharp edged. So I'm gonna actually put a dot on each end. Whereas the eyes were a little bit rounded, it wasn't. Okay. I see a bubble. It will come for you if you don't pop yourself. Okay, this is gonna be a pain. Okay. I'm gonna keep having this problem now because I did this, where the spacing is gonna be annoying. If you recall, I'm trying to be chill over here. It's one of my favorite parts of dotting. And then I immediately do something that requires me to be less chill than I'd like. Oh, I really, really shouldn't have done that, but it worked out okay. 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 This one actually worked out pretty well. Muy bueno. Okay, so I don't know if I want to do the same size all the way around the mouth. I think I might. And then we'll expand to get bigger and bigger as we go out, I think. I'm not planning on making this like mandala style. It's just going to be, I don't know. It's going to be the way it bees. But all these sharp angles are going to be a pain in my tuchus for sure. I'm not sure how to deal with this one. You know what the easiest way would be for this one is in the center. Go do that on the other one too. So I enjoy doing things like this because trying to keep everything uniform, it's a challenge, man. And it's fun and repetitive for sure. And it really is quite zen if you let it be. But there's no denying that there is a bit of a challenge if you want there to be. Especially if you want to be a perfectionist about things and be like, make everything uniform and equal. A reminder to hydrate. When I drink, you drink. Water. I'm talking about water. Just to be clear. I think I'm going to do this tooth while I'm at it. Nice. I'm just going to great. That's good. It's a great size. Beautiful. Beauty. I think that was a big chunk of paint that just fell in there. Yep. Oh, you. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. That's good. You know, I'm planning on filling this thing in with like big orange dots, but as I'm looking at the way this looks with the trim, I almost kind of like it as a black pumpkin with just the trim. Not fill it in at all. It's kind of cool. But now I'll probably fill it in. My hand is going numb. My fingers, every once in a while, you have to play the invisible piano. Okay. All right. I should do it for a bit. I'm making these a little too close to each other. And that's not a problem. You can butt your dots up to each other as much as you dare. And really talented dot paint artists are really good at that. However, you really do run the risk of making a massive blob in that situation. But that's not the reason why I'm talking about putting more space between these dots. It's just because I want more black to show through. I'm going to pause on that. And I'm going to move on to the tooth. This paint is acting a little funky. The reason I wanted to move on to the tooth is because I want to do it upside down. And I want to be able to rest my arm, which is why I didn't want to dot any further. Those are not the same size. That is not quite in the middle, so now I'm going to suffer. Now I shall suffer. I might leave that and come back to it. This one I should be able to do no problem. I'm going to be a big girl and try to do that one too. If necessary, I'll just make the dot a little smaller. Okay. I'm just watching it because I'm nervous that it's going to bleed. But it seems to be okay. I really should have left that one. I'm watching the gap between this dot and that dot nervously. Because it is hair thin. Okay, because that one turned out a little small, I'll make them both a bit bigger. And now you can't tell. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to tell most of these little gaps that I've left. I am going to go back and fill in the one or two that will bug me. But frankly, it's probably, look at that, eh? Oh boy. They are closer than the Holy Spirit. Oh boy. Let's hope that they don't keep it together, guys. I mean, keep it separated. See a couple of bubbles. Oh my God, I really do think those might just start touching and I'm going to have a complete freak out. So this is going to be a real challenge for me once I start filling in the other areas, because I won't be able to rest my hand so comfortably anywhere I like, which is something that I have noticed from a lot of talented dot paint artists. They have the ability to kind of hover, and they're very dainty about the way that they dot. I am more of like a bull in a china shop kind of girl. Okay, so this bull needs to keep an eye on where she places her hooves. Oh, Mary, I do amuse myself. Okay. I still want to giggle about it. I'm not over it. Oh, boy. Oh, I think it's starting to merge a little bit. I'm not over it. Something I've done in the past when I've had two dots that refuse to stay separated, like those guys, is I wait until they're dry. Because this, I mean, at this point, I don't think they're going to fully merge. I think this is as far as it's going to get. They're just like touching fingertips. In the past, I have tried using a toothpick once they're very, very dry and kind of like liberating that wax that's not wax, that paint that's in between with a Q-tip. It's worked. It's had like varying degrees of success, but it is an option. Perhaps one I might take later. We'll see. I'm only going to put one in the middle. I don't care. No, that was definitely the right call. All right. we're in good shape here. And since I'm going to switch to another dotting tool, I'm going to actually go and fix, because these are dry now. So let's have a quick look. What is going to bother me? That's going to bother me, and that's going to bother me. All right, let's see what we can make happen. Because those are mostly dry. There's very little chance that they're going to... But there's no doubt that this is going to be a smaller dot than the other dots. Well, maybe not. That looks pretty even. I'll take it. Now, where was the other one? The nose. Ooh, that one's going to be tricky. And this one too. Oh, I don't know. Both of those ones are going to be, for sure, they're going to be like little teeny tiny dots. This one in particular, like it's so small. Such a small spot. That'll do. It's not that bad. What was the other one? Where was it? Oh, right here. Oh, that's another really small one. I should have... This all comes down to the fact that I didn't space. I don't even know if I want to try this one. How bad is it? No, it's noticeable. I got to do it. You got this. It's going to be small, though. It's going to be a little teeny tiny guy. That's not so bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, that's great. Alrighty, I am going to now, I think I'm going to do like, man, I'm torn because I actually really like the way this looks. I almost want to like leave it, but that'd be boring. So I'm going to actually hydrate. We are 55 minutes in at this point, and I'm going to use like a really, really big one. Like massive. 12.5. Do I want to do a 13? I feel like that's too big. Maybe I want to do 12. No, that's not the right size at all. Here we go, 12. Wait. All right, we're going to do 12. I'm going to go, I don't know if I want to start here in the center with it and then go that way, or if I want to leave this and do something different right here. So I'm going to start. Oh, fuck, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to put one right in the middle. Beautiful. When you have a dotting tool this big, paint is muy importante. Because if you don't have enough paint, you are not going to get a decent sized shaped. Forget about size, even just shaped. You won't get a round dot. And something I like to do when I'm using a really big tool like that is kind of smooth out that peak. Okay, good. So if you're new here, I don't really care about things being perfectly symmetrical or perfectly sized, like, you know, I don't really care. I just want it to look pretty. I want to enjoy doing it. And I truly believe that it's more fun. I mean, I could have drawn some lines on here to kind of like, you know, keep myself under control, but let's be rebels. Oh, very unfortunate. I got a little bit on the side of my pumpkin. That's okay. Everything's fine. Everybody calm down. Get it together. Everything's okay. Okay. I think I say get it together a lot. I need to knock it off. I find that every once in a while I fall into a new saying and it becomes like every other word that comes out of my mouth. And then I have to make note of it and simmer down about it because it gets annoying. So especially if you're going to do like a top dot on anything, when you're making these really, really big dots like this, you definitely want to make sure that you smooth that out, or else it's going to end up with a little peak. And then every top dot thereafter you'll have to deal with that peak, and it's annoying. I feel like I'm just going to start holding that one. Now, do I want to go all the way up to there and then maybe go to a different size? Or do I want to start tapering off to the top? I think I want to taper. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's do 10. That's the center. And we'll do 10 that way as well. When I first started dot painting and I would watch people dot paint on YouTube, I used to think, how do they come up with what they're doing? Like, how do you know where you should be putting the dots, or how the design should look, or how do you know? And now that I've been dot painting for a number of years, I've learned the secret of how they come up with, you know, what dots do you use and where do you put them and how do you go about it? And here's the secret. You just freaking guess. You just guess. You just, whatever you like, get her done. It's yours to do. This is yours. You don't like the big dots? Don't put a big dot. You want it to be a purple and blue pumpkin instead of an orange one? Go for it. That sounds fantastic to me. I should have made it pink. I regret. That's not to say I can't add some pink if I really wanted to, but I mean, that's ultimately how I come up with my patterns, and I come up with, you know, all of the designs that I've made over the years. Once I started just being like, okay, well, what do I want to put next? Like, I think that would look nice there. Okay, let me try that. I try it. All right. Okay. Now let's do something else. Okay, so this was not counted. So this is number 3. I'm using tons of paint tonight in comparison to usual because these big dots they're paint suckers. Actually, I want to swirl this one a bit. It looks a little, I see a bubble. It just won't pop. I really like painting on wood, but it really does take a certain amount of preparation so that you don't end up with wonky shaped dots. What I mean by that is raw wood or unfinished wood is very thirsty, and it's going to, I don't know, just you don't end up with these beautifully round dots. So what I find really helps is doing a base coat with chalk paint, whatever color that might be. Black, white, or whatever. There's lots of colors of chalk paint out there. The chalk paint really helps because it levels out the unevenness of the wood. And I don't mean unevenness like it's warped. I mean more like grain and whatnot. Okay, wait, I'm losing track. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're at 5. I'll bet you I'm going to count after every dot. Oh my God, knock it off, bro. Okay, shall we count again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 3 more. 3 more. No more counting. You're not allowed to count anymore. I feel like this is going higher than that one did. I might have spaced these more. Okay, this is 9. And we're going to pop. There's a ton of bubbles in these ones. Okay, I should have one more dot, but before I do that, I'm going to turn this around and have a look and see if it's like even. Does it look even? No, I think I could fit one more dot. I think the 9 will matter. Pop damn bubbles. Come on. That's enough. You only get popped one time. All right. So this is very uneven, as you can see. I left a big gap here and no gap there. So good job, Mare. Way to go. That's going to make things more complicated, but that's okay. Life is fun that way. All right. Next, let's see. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm gonna mirror or mimic the eyes. Not with a 12 though. I think we'll go down a few sizes, but still large. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I really should have, paid better attention and had this in this direction. Oh well, who cares? We will just have to live with it, won't we? So that was a 12. Let's go down to like a 9. Let's go down to a 9. And what are we going to do? I think I'm going to go down this way and down this way so that it'll end up like here. Right? And then here. And then I'll fill that in a bit. Okay, that sounds good to me. So I'm going to use a 9. Number nuevo. I was like, I'm going to actually do these ones first. Because I don't want to be uneven like I did before. Okay. I think I want to go like that. Oopsie. I kicked up some bubbles. Come on, Bubbles. Pupski. This is going to be a challenge, is trying to... This actually worked out really, really well. Nice. Mi piace. That's good. It is bueno. I'm not going to be able to do the same size around the nose clearly. Well, I guess I could. I could just put a dot there. We'll see. I really hate when I can't rest my hand. I am but a princess. And I don't like it. Oh, shoot. I had a little spaz. That one's not gonna... That one's gonna give me even more bubbles, I bet you. I bet you most of the time they don't actually pop, they just go under the surface. Which is fine, just do not be seen, por favor. Okay, I give up. You know what? If you want to pop after, nobody cares. Stab them bubbles. Okay, hopefully this is 2 dots. We're going to see. Yeah. I'm going to make this be 2 dots. I love when it works out well. You don't have to make a wonky dot. But whatever, if it happens, it happens. Awesome sauce. I really do think it's not actually popping them. Then this is a sharp tool. Well, that one popped. You're just like, dance, dance. Okay. What a happy little jack-o'-lantern. What are we going to do next? I feel like I want to start... I feel like I want to do one line of these big dots right down the center. And then I'll do something on either side that's smaller. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And to make sure that this stays somewhat in the center, I'm going to keep it face on. And a big gulp of water for courage. Okay, here we go. I don't really need more paint, but apparently I've decided it's necessary. Okay, so I want it to go. It's hard to keep this straight with my hand hovering. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I think I'm going to leave that and I'm going to put some smaller dots in the middle. I don't want a dot here. I could fit 2, probably, definitely 1, but I don't want to. I think it'll look cool if I put something small in the middle. So that's good. Where else should I put a big dot, if anywhere? Let's see. I feel like I kind of want a couple in here. But I think I'm going to go smaller. Still big, but not as big as this. So this is a 9. I'm going to leave these out so I remember what I had. So hey, chill out, bro. So these big ones are a 12 and these ones are a 9. So let's go down to like a 6. bueno. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the edge of the nose. This might be a little too small now that I'm looking at it. I want it to be maybe like a 7. Okay. I'm going to go nose to corner, I think. But I'm going to leave a gap like I did there. Okay, let's do that. This is a number 7. That's good. That's a good size. A little too close, Mary. Because I can't use my pinky right now. Okay. Do I want to put one more? I have room for it. I could put one more dot here. Should I? I'm going to. I hope I don't regret. All right. I like it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave a gap right there. This wood is moving a little bit, which I don't like. Holding it down helps a ton, though. Okay. I'm slowly making these dots too big, eh? They're turning into like the size 9s when they're supposed to be 7s. So let's try to... Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to do something like a 5 around the edge here and here. And then I'll do a few in-betweeny small dots. And I think I'm going to call it a day. And I'll put a little green or gold. I have both green and gold. So I haven't decided what I'm going to put on the stem yet. Maybe a little bit of both. But let's go ahead and find. So this is a 7. So I'm going to go down to like a 5. And I think I'm going to go. Do I want to go all the way around the edge? Or do I want to just do like a half here and a half here? I think I'm going to start with the half and half on each side, like that. And then we'll decide how that looks. Take a water break. Hydrate. Oh boy. Okay, water. All right, let's see. We're about an hour and a half in right now. And I'm really pleased with this, but it's going to be a challenge. Well, no, actually, I'm working on the edge here. My preference would be to have this in a different, like upside down probably, but I want to also be able to rest my hand. So we're going to take that. Where am I going to start this? Do I want to start with this curve here? I think I'm going to start right there. Okay, as long as it's dry. I want to leave a lot of room between this row, like in terms of the space between each dot. I want there to be a lot of black. Why? Because that's what my, see, too soon already. I'm already too close. That's good. That's a big gap. Where do I want to stop it? Should I go to the edge of the eye? Or, I think I am going to, I'm going to keep going for now. Let's see. I think I'd stop there. I think I'd rather do, so like even with the eye, I guess. We're going to go backwards on this one. Having some trouble over here. Okay. Actually, I need to pop a couple of these bubbles before I move on, or I'm not going to be happy with myself. See this little dot? This little teeny tiny splatted dot that came on? Yeah. I'm going to scrape you off later because nobody asked you. Okay. We're going to stop on this curve over here. I've watched some dot paint artists who never move their piece. They always leave it in the same direction, facing forward. I find that highly impressive because I cannot do it. Nor will I try because I don't care. I enjoy dotting my way, comfortably, chill, very zen. I need a little bit more. Okay. Bueno. Oh, I got my hand dirty. Always be careful what you got on your hands when you are dot painting, my friends. Okay. What do we want to do next, if anything? I think we are reaching the end because I do want to leave a lot of negative space. But I feel like I want to do another like that. And I'm possibly in here. I don't know about down here, but in here, I kind of want to do a little like that size. I think I might walk the dots in these ones. No walk the dots today. We're not walking any dots. All the dots are staying stationary. I'm just fixing my little wet rag. It is messy AF. Okay. Nice and clean. All right. I think I'm going to start with, yeah. Here we go. I'm going to start from here. I want this to curve. One more. I'm not going to be able to do this one upside down. So let's hope. Oh, what are you? You a piece of crap? Yeah, you are. Stay over there, piece of crap. Thank you. When I can't put my hand down, like this situation, I make sure that I'm exhaling as I drop my dot so that my hand is as steady as possible. Look at how warped this is compared to that one. I am going to turn it now. Since I already have it messed up, I might as well be comfortable. Messed up. I mean, it's fine. I have a very poorly shaped dot over there. I'm going to try to fix it. It's better. Let's say one more here. Okay. What do you think? Are we done? Should we do a little more somewhere before we do the stem? Should I put a tiny dot right in the middle of that? I think I will. It's screaming for a dot. I kind of don't want to do much more. I feel like I really like this like bit of minimalism. What I might do just for giggles is just this curve and this curve. No, maybe this curve and this curve. I'll do this size dot. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it. My hair has been blown all the way back. Now, realistically, I could have added some white paint to this orange. And we could do some top dots on this, which would look really cool. But I'm tired. And I'm going to call this done with no top dots because I really want this to be a fun, easy, beginner-friendly project. So we won't stress ourselves too much. I should have put that dot a little more to the left. Well, there you go. I mean, we went from having a completely plain piece of wood jack-o'-lantern and no idea what the F we were going to do with it. And now we made this really cool dot painted jack-o'-lantern that I think came out pretty coolio if you ask me. So all right. Yeah, that was nice. I like it. I like it. I kind of am debating if I want to do anything here. Or is it nicer that there's nothing? Or should I put a massive dot? Do I have anything bigger? Let's see what my biggest dot tool is. Because I use 12, I think. I've got a 15.5 Marona. I think that's the biggest one. 15.5. Really? There's no 16? Maybe there is and I lost it. That would not be surprising to anybody. All right. We are going to put one massive dot right here. And then I'm going to call it quits. A little one I'll put there. And then we're going to do a little bit on the stem. And then we're going to put Mary to bed because she's tired. All right, here we go. I want to get a massive amount of paint on here because I really want this to be a big, big, big dot. And I think I will line it up with just under the lip or the edge of the mouth. Oh. Okay, so right about here. That's massive. Beauty. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Right here. Beauty. Good. Do I want to do anything else? I gotta tell you, I wish I had another wet rag. Next time I do a big project like this, I'm gonna make sure I have two with me because it's frustrating. Okay. So I would like to do That's all, no more there. I'm debating if I want to, yeah, don't debate, just do it. I think I'm gonna break my no walk the dots policy, and I'm going to okay. And then we're gonna do the opposite direction. It's gonna be hard. Cute. Cricket, but cute. Oh well. I think we'll go in this direction. Nice. All right. I want one more dot there. Boop. Aw, I ran out. Now I need to put a little one there or it'll bother me. Boop. Okay, good. All right. What do you think? I think we're going to do a little bit on the stock, and we are approaching the 2-hour mark, so this is going to work out swimmingly. Now, since we had such a big dot at the top here, I think I kind of just want to do like a we're gonna turn you. Jita. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna go right down the center and keep it really low key. Shall we do, I think these are 12s or something. I can't remember. I think that might be a 9. Let's go for like a 7. Yeah, a 7 should be good. We'll go for 6.5. 6.5 green. But now that's not going to line up with it well. I'm better off going. I have an idea. What if I mimic it with a small one and a big one? So I'll go off to the side. Just try to leave a bigger gap. Okay, and we're going to stop there. Okay, that was a 6.5. I think I want to go to like a 4 or a 3.5. We'll go 4. I'm going to go. Okay, here we are going to do. No. I was going to say I'll walk the dots, but I don't think so. All right. I think we are Jira. I think it needs another line of green, but just at an angle. I want to leave that open, and that open. So just right at the curve. Let's do the 4. Right in the crook. Okay, I'm going to put just 4. You're too small. That's good. And then I think that'll do. I think that will do. Let's see. Cute. What do you guys think? Are we done? I think that we're done. Shh. The only thing I could possibly want to do is add an extra row around this. That's going to cut it pretty close to the edge. I think that's unnecessary. You need to know when to stop. So this is where we're going to stop because I think this is the right place to stop. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always more dots to be added. There's always more to do. But I would say that this wraps up our dotted jack-o'-lantern project. I hope you had fun dotting along with me and that it inspired you to try your own Halloween piece at home. If you're new here, there are lots more beginner-friendly dot art projects waiting for you on my channel. I've got some spooky mandalas, some colorful everyday decor. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. There's rocks. I mean, so many things. Check out one of my playlists. You'll be blown away, or at least you'll enjoy a little bit of chill time with me in the craft room. So make sure to like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the Spooky Season Live series. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!